Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Pontiac Power Hour. This is episode 31, and I am Buff from Buff's Garage, and next to me,
I'm Ray, Punisher Lamont's Garage.
and we decided this week we wanted to talk about something special that definitely has our interest and is in our hearts, and that is the Catalina Super Duty. So, with that, let's hit the chat real quick and see who's hanging out. And we've got Danny Boyd is here. Hunter from Sand Mountain Ballistics. Ugly Truck Experience was here early. Thanks, guys, for showing up. And Mongrel's Garage. It was warm here today, Mongrels. It was 60 some degrees. Let's see. Jeremiah is here. I know I saw JB's Little Shop. There he is. JB's Little Shop. Tony's here. Hello, Tony. Good Thursday to you, sir. Colleen Tebow. Looks like she's right on JB's tail. We got
She's
J-Man,
stalking.
642. Lars is in the house. Jason's Garage made it in. And we're going to have more rolling in as we move along.
I always figure if JB's in here, then Lars is close behind.
Yeah, they kind
You're
of
like-
had two peas in the pod there.
Yeah, two peas in a pod, definitely. Big Block 402 snuck in. Hello, sir.
Justin Van Tilburg. Peter Griffin made it.
Hello, Peter Griffin.
Speaking of Pontiacs. Oh, wait. Big Block 42. I'm waiting on Outfits Garage to show up. We're doing a parts swapping tonight. Oh, nice. Well, have him jump in if he makes it. I was going to say, for all those LS swap haters, I recently made a deal on a Pontiac 400. Yeah, I know it's not a 389, but I'm going to have a Pontiac 400, and if everything goes right, I will be dropping that in my 63 Pontiac Grand Prix. So I don't want to hear any negativity about that.
Yeah, I'm
But
keeping.
we'll have an extra LS to put in something, so we can put it in another Pontiac.
I'm keeping my 5.3 turbo in my car. Sorry, guys.
The Punisher Le Mans is just an epic car, and I'm telling you, I think that 400 is going to make that 63 Grand Prix rip pretty good. She's mostly there to look good and do burnouts, so I think it's going to be fine.
Well, it's definitely going to clean things up because you got all that wiring and stuff with the LS.
All that's going to be gone. We're going to just, streamline it.
Raj Cam 80s here.
All right.
Danny Boyd. Did you say Dan? Yeah, you said Danny.
I did.
Boyd.
He was one of the first ones.
Sorry,
Maybe
mongrels.
Squeaker chair. Yeah, mine doesn't squeak.
Yeah, mine does. I actually spent a lot of time in my office today, so I'm tired of sitting down.
It's how we know you're live. It's okay. Yeah, Rajcam, 5.3 turbo isn't a bad thing. But, all the haters out there.
No.
I had never really intended on not putting a Pontiac engine in. I just didn't have one. And when, budgets are pretty much zero and I got this here, I'm going to put it in that there. End of the day, it eventually worked out. We're going to have a Pontiac engine back in the Pontiac.
I'm just saying I pulled a numbers matching motor and transmission out of my car and sold it to somebody so I could put an LS in it. So
Right. But, 350 to turbocharge 5.3 is a little different.
Right. Do I regret it? Nope.
Look at that. Big Block is swapping Big Block Chevy parts for Mopar parts. But that Cornette's going to be sweet when he's done.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I actually like, there's not a lot of difference between those and the Super B or all those. They are all a lot alike.
Just looking at what parts cost, he's going to end up giving Outfits a long block 454 in return for an exhaust manifold bolt for the Mopar. I mean, that's about even trade there.
Mopar is one of the most expensive vehicles you can work on. I think it would probably go Mopar, then like Buick or Cadillac, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, and then Chevy's at the
Pontiac's not
very
cheap.
bottom cheap. That's why everybody does it.
Hunter says seems fair. Oh man, well, it's been a fun week. I have been doing some revival stuff, or let me rephrase it. I've been attempting to do some revival stuff on some cars. Put out a pretty good video last week that hit the algorithm for the first time since I've been monetized. I hit the algorithm long before I ever, could get any money out of it. But I did last week, and man, it's been great. It just exploded. So I went back and have been working on those same vehicles and trying to get them running. And you guys should see a video hopefully tomorrow. Oh, look at that. Ugly Truck's talking about it. That 77 Caprice video just went crazy. And so I went back and we're trying to get it freed up and running. And you should be seeing a video. Well, if you're a member, you should be seeing a video tomorrow. And then if you're not a member, you should be, but
Right.
It'll come out like the next day or so.
Even I'm a member of Buffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you get monetized, I'm going to be a member of yours.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever going
Members.
to happen. Nobody likes watching my stuff, apparently.
No, that's not true. That latest short you did with, the Punisher car flying down the road, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Jay is here. I want to mention I've got the redirect on our show. So at the end of our show, it should suggest that you redirect to Jay's Cars and Cussin' comes on right after us. 6% Recycled made it in. He had a pretty good video earlier with a tour of a shop. It was a good video.
I haven't seen it. I've actually been editing videos and haven't. Well, honestly, I looked like a Dalmatian earlier because I used some super clean foaming spray to clean up my 5.3 for the C10. So I'm just going to say this, and I hope I don't hurt anybody's feelings. But if you paint over grease instead of cleaning it off, you're a dumbass. Because it makes it a whole lot harder to get off if it's been painted over.
For sure, I agree.
But that super clean foaming spray, yeah, they're our sponsor, but I'll tell you what, that stuff is good. And I'll have a video coming out on it pretty soon.
So guys, we don't get any money from Super Clean, but we do get to give out the prize pack to one lucky winner. And I just want to say we appreciate them for, keep helping us out every single week, offering that up free of charge. And so we put their name on the show, and it is a good product. It works well.
It really does. That foaming stuff. It reminds me of like spraying on bathroom cleaner or scrubbing bubbles when you got. Man, it cleaned it up. It's ready for some Chevy orange paint.
I tried the oven cleaner trick, and I'm not saying it didn't work, but Super Clean works better.
The oven cleaner works okay. On aluminum, you got to be careful because it will screw it up real fast.
Sounds like Big Block got his 402 running.
Oh, man, I look forward to seeing that video.
Said he got it running and moving under its own power. Awesome. Yeah, we're getting closer to No Name Nationals, and we got to start making some things run. And I haven't done that at all, so that'll be okay. I guarantee I'll have at least one car, but I paid for two. I can't tell you what cars are going to be there because I just don't know yet.
My car currently runs and drives good. I've been enjoying the crap out of it. On the 8th, I'm doing the Hot Rod 100 with my buddy Justin. We're going to go. It's all 19 60 and older rat rods. We're just going to go cruise with them. It's a 100-mile cruise, or not rat rod, hot rods. So,
Yep.
And there'll be a lot of video of that coming up. That's just going to be cool.
Absolutely.
When you're cruising in a 71 and have the newest car there, then that's kind of cool.
All right, Ragcam 80 just bought a 6.2 last weekend, and he could use some cleaner. Well, let's see how you do on the trivia. Maybe you can win some tonight.
Is that a hint?
Maybe. Russell's here. Well, hello to Russell.
Yeah. Is he bringing back the dirt track car this year? I know he's building a C10.
Doesn't he have the Camaro Z thing? Outfit Z?
Oh, yeah. Right.
I don't know if that's
stuff he's working on.
Yeah. Uh-oh. That's okay. Your dad pulled the car in, so it's not going to get all rained on.
Yeah, it was sitting outside when the storm was moving in, and I thought, I better bring that back in.
Guys, go out and check out that Fiero guy. He's got a 3.8 supercharged swapped into a Fiero. So cool car. It's running. It's driving. They've still got stuff to do, but that's good YouTube content. So go check him out.
Yeah, I did my part. He gets to take it and have his fun with it now. He gets to learn all the little stuff. So,
how many here have a T37?
Not me.
Nope.
I have a base model crappy Le Mans. I got
a fully loaded 63 Grand Prix.
Yeah, my car didn't come from the factory cool, so I had to make it that way.
Anyone have a set of Pontiac MT valve covers they would sell? Well, you put it out there. We'll see if anybody's got them.
I actually had a real nice set, and I sold them on eBay, and they actually went way higher than I thought they would.
6% has a T37 torque spit. That counts. Oh, GT37. Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah, GT37 is pretty rare.
Half a car. Yep. Yeah. Car's a car. Just whichever end has the power, it's fine.
I got a half car too sitting in my side yard. It's a Triumph.
But speaking of power, you're scrolling through the newspaper because, this was pre-marketplace. You're scrolling through and you see a 62 Pontiac 421 Super Duty with 12,000 miles, white exterior, turquoise interior, bucket seats, mid-condition, extra engine and parts, none cleaner in the U.S., $2,000.
Woo! What I wouldn't give to go back in time and buy that thing.
Like, do they know what they have? Granted, I know this is an older ad, but do they know what they have? I mean, obviously they do. It's 421 Super Duty.
Man.
That's the one where you're Joe Dirt and you're flipping through and you're like, oh man, look at this one. It's got a Hurst shifter. And then this one, you're like, oh, 421 Super Duty. 2,000. I'd pay him 1,500.
Yeah. Oh man.
What year is that? That is a 62 Pontiac 421 Super Duty. ASO's calling that number now. I'm pretty sure it's no longer in service.
I would be driving out to California tomorrow to buy that.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, yep. But we got a great audience. These guys know a lot about a lot. There's no doubt. But how much do you know about the Pontiac Catalina Super Duty? I got educated today on some things I didn't know, and we're going to share those with you.
He wanted to know what year the ad was.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I pulled it off the internet. I just thought it was awesome. Like, that's what I'm looking at going, yeah, I'm going to buy that. Let me sell a lung. I don't need two. Did I see Doug? Doug Narden. No low ballers.
Never fear, Dougster's here.
Yep. All right. So you find this ad and you're like, what am I looking at? So you have to understand that era, Pontiac was trying to stay relevant in the racing scene. And everything from drag strip to NASCAR, and there's so many rules about it has to be production cars and so many out in the world and everything that goes with that. So like in 1961, they decided to take their Catalina and throw in that 421 Super Duty engine. And basically, I mean, it's the same, size-ish as the 389. It's just, of course, got a little bit more punch to it. And funny enough, they did not factory install that 421 if you bought one. And I didn't know that when I first read this article.
Well, they couldn't.
Right. But you could still buy the Super Duty package, and then they would ship that engine separate. And then, for whatever reason, you'd have it installed or however you did it.
So would that still be a numbers matching car?
I guarantee if you have one, you're probably, no one's going to really question it. I know there's some clones out there, but an actual real Super Duty, it's kind of like the, judges. There's more judges than were ever made. But
Right.
There's so many real Super Duties.
Man, I'd love to have one.
For sure. So, I mean, oh man, just whew. So you think about what they did to these engines. They took that engine and they put in that 4-bolt block containing what was it? Forged crankshaft, 4-inch stroke,
4.09 bore.
Yeah, Mickey Thompson aluminum pistons, flat tappet cam, just ridiculous, just crazy. These things put down an enormous amount of horsepower and torque, and I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's a trivia question later. But we all know Pontiac engines dominate when it comes to torque, and these cars were no joke. And that I just love that. That thing's beautiful.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, Hunter's right. They limit those cubic inches by GM, but you can still buy the package and they'd still ship you the engine, and then you just had to get it put in. And yes, the Grand Prix Super Duty, good luck finding one of those. Not saying they're not out there, but they're a lot harder to find.
There is some of those unicorn cars out there that a lot of people don't even know exist. There's like 5 of ever made,
So, speaking of that, the Super Duty came with a lot of, I want to say, unique things that came with it. So, obviously, you get the big engine, you got aluminum front fenders, saving weight, and you have upgraded things all over the car. But then, if you were a legit hardcore racer, by 1963, you could buy a 421 Super Duty Swiss cheese. And I'm trying to think if I even have a photo of that Swiss cheese.
I'd just like to know how much weight was actually saved
From the Swiss cheese?
from the Swiss cheese. I couldn't
actually have that number in front of me. Let me look here.
I couldn't find it. I looked.
There's 120 holes drilled through the sides of the frame rails, and
Figure
plexiglass
that's a big
windows.
frame.
Oh, they put some gussets in there. It's fine.
Well, I mean,
I thought I had that number right in front of me. Somewhere I read it was like 400 pounds or something like that, and that's just off the cuff. It was somewhere in that range.
that's
But
crazy.
yeah. But how many Swiss cheese Super Duty 421 Catalinas are there? Oh, Hunter's already told us. It's only 14 of them.
Made. Now, how many of them's left?
So, as I understand, a couple of them were wrecked. And there's a few of them unaccounted for. Yeah, Rajcam's right. There's probably 20 out of 14. And Rajcam's right. This car that you're looking at, aluminum fenders, she's pretty. Like, I mean, that car right there, I believe that was the one that sold for $400,000 at Barrett Jackson.
Which,
and it should. It's gorgeous.
I'm just going to say that in the realm of Barrett Jackson, though, that's cheap.
It is cheap. And I'm sure today, with the way car prices have escalated, it's probably much, much higher now. ASO says there's only 7 left.
Look at that. It's got the man pedal and everything.
Yep. Sweet, sweet car. And Nathan's right. The few remaining that they can't find are probably in a field somewhere, probably in some old man's barn. And, you know, he'll pass away and the family won't know anything about it. And they'll just send it off to the scrapyard, not knowing what it is. Oh, we're losing Dougster. Later, Doug. Danny Boyd hit it right on the head, right there. Super Duty scoop.
Yep.
It just says, I'm here to party, people. Danny Boyd. I wonder who made that scoop. I don't want to say and be wrong.
Dudes with wrenches snuck in here. Oh, wait. Dudes with wrenches.
That's better. You got to get it right. Scarlet Four-Eyed Cuda made it in.
You know, I'm just going to say, uh-oh. Sorry, Colleen. I was not being sexist. That's just what a lot of people call it.
The person pedal? I mean, what are we going with here?
Oh, man.
That's all Wolfpack Garage Vlog made it in. Oh, those clear steering wheels. I have one of those in my 63 Pontiac, and there's one guy that remakes those. And how much do you think a replacement steering wheel is for a 63 Pontiac Grand Prix?
Probably more than you gave for the car.
That's correct. You guys have a guess? Because I think it's going to shock you.
1,500.
Oh, man. Wolfpack nailed it.
Woo!
With shipping, $2,500.
Man.
Now, Dalton with Pole Barn Garage has a idea he wants to try, and I just happen to have a couple of steering wheels laying around. We might make one Pole Barn Garage style.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, if it doesn't catch on fire, I'd be surprised.
All right. Mongrels says woman has man in it. So,
yeah, let's keep this PG there, Mongrels.
right.
Oh, you mean the word. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man.
All right. So, LQ9 doesn't cost that much. You're right. LQ9 does not. And I have one. Self-tappers. Yeah, those fix everything. You know, it's got 120 some holes in the frame. You just self-tapper those closed with some license plates. That'll streamline it. You don't need all that weight savings.
I figure Dalton's probably got he probably buys stock in self tappers.
Have you seen his wall?
Yeah.
The road sign, and then it's just buckets and buckets and buckets of self tappers.
Is that where he goes to get him when he needs one? Just zips it out of his sign.
Yep. PJ's Rusted and Busted Garage. Welcome. Let's see. Yeah, where is PPG? He's not here. All right. So back to Super Duty. So obviously you've got a ridiculous power plant, horsepower and torque. We got a nice manual transmission thrown behind it. The car weighed, like little over 3,500 pounds if it was decked out, it, had its interior and all that kind of stuff. But then you chuck the, steel body components like the fenders, inner fenders, hood, radiator support, front bumper. All that was replaced with aluminum, and just that was 200 pounds of savings there.
Man.
Now, there's not an exact number on how many cars got the aluminum replacement parts, but I know it's not a lot of them. And then there's even less that got the Swiss cheese treatment. So,
and I'm fairly certain you would never find one of those fenders if you ruined one.
Nope. You'd probably have to have somebody make one.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm just going to tell you, I'm not a cream yellow fan, but man, that car looks good with the dog dishes, the hood scoop. It just screams, get the crap out of my way before I run you over.
For sure. Hey, Mohawk, welcome. Sorry, Pole Barn, did he make it in? No way. He's working on a truck tonight.
Yeah.
If he did, awesome. But I'm pretty sure he sent me a snap. He's working on the Silver Dollar Chevy.
It's going to be a nice truck when he's done.
It's got to be. He's basically replaced every part of it and brand new.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just going to give the shout out to Dalton, guys. I know you all know who he is, but he has been, just pounding away on 2 land yachts. And whew, that Mercury was amazing. But the LTD that's coming out, I think he's going to put it out tomorrow. Just go check it out. It's a cool video. If you're not a member, you should be. But go watch his show or his video because he takes these land yachts that are basically garbage and he goes and does ridiculous pole barn garage stuff with it.
See, my mom and dad had a 4-door brown LTD just like that one. Well, it had a top.
Right.
But it had a 400 modified and it was an old police car. Man, I did a lot of burnouts in that car. I mean, if my dad's watching, I did not.
I don't know, Jared.
In that car.
I would say if we're talking about cars, he's got more than 2.
I don't think Dalton's got any time for women.
I could not see any break in his schedule that would allow that. He is way too busy for that. Hardest working man on YouTube. All right. Tony's Hot Rod Garage made it in. Welcome, sir. By the way, if you don't know Jared Cooper, he's just an awesome dude. Met him No Name Nationals and just appreciate you always supporting us.
I'm pretty sure I met him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Pounding away on land yachts. Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, there's plenty of back seat in both of those cars. So, he can do whatever he needs to do with whoever. I look at it this way, and I'm not saying anything negative about anyone, But if I got to spend money to go out and like watch a movie or go to dinner or buy, I don't know, clothes that don't have oil stains on them, that's just money I could have been spending on a car. So I I'm not saying I'm happy that I'm single. I'm saying that I have 10 cars now and I didn't have that many last year. So it
Yeah.
works out.
Well, I only have one, but I'm married.
Do you see? There you go. We've got that comparison now. Hunter's
Well,
like, yeah,
I
money
have
wasted.
the S10 I need to get too, but
Oh, right. That's what you need a 400 for. You need to put a Pontiac 400 in that S10. That would be fun. All right, we were talking Super Duty. Where did we go with that?
oh, yeah, I don't know.
No? Let me get back to that page. Do, do, do.
Dude's French's says both me and my wife work so I can work on the cars.
Yeah, he's got a good setup. I'm not saying you don't, Ray, because your wife is awesome. But Dudes with Wrenches got a good setup too. Jay with Irish Outlaw, he's got a good setup. I'm not saying married or not. I'm just saying he's got a good setup. I'm too busy to look. I've got my head down.
Looks like Dakota snuck in. Dr. Art.
Oh, wow. Dr. Art and Dakota. Dakota, you got your 500 subs yet?
$500 or not, didn't he already sign up for No Name?
I believe so. ASO, that's right. You do. Yeah, Colleen's right. You know, you want to help me swap an engine? Come on. And I've had people, ask about doing stuff, and I'm like, I'm working on cars. You want to come hang out? Awesome. Don't distract me and hand me that wrench.
You need
Oh,
to
38 POS. POS is just bragging now.
you need to find you a mook.
Junkyard Mook. Yep. She is like the unicorn. Girl's got it going on. Oh my gosh. Destroyer 1320 made it in the house. Copperhead Customs. How's the world on the other side? He's from the underside. Or maybe he's the top and we're the under. I don't know.
He from the land down under?
In that general vicinity. All right, 38 POS, 40 cars, really? The question is, how many of them run?
Yeah.
I have zero room to talk because I've got 2 that run. Technically, the 63 runs. She just don't shift right.
He said 7 even runs.
Hey, Tony, if you got your 500, just make sure you screenshot that at 500, and then when they take it away, it don't matter. Yeah, I know. Low blow on the run. Yep. But here's what I'm going to tell you guys. Subs are not difficult to get if you put out content. And I'm not even going to say just get on the shorts bandwagon, even though Dudes with Wrenches showed us how it's done when it comes to shorts. But my last video, the Caprice that you guys are talking about, I gained 223 subs off of one video. And it's a long form video. It's the first time it's really taken off. And that's a lot of subs for any video, let alone a long form video. So it's doable, guys. And if you're sitting at 200 and some subs now, one good video would get you over 500. It can be done. Edgecam's got 62 subs. Guys, go out and give him a sub. He's got some cool Pontiacs. And, he needs to get more subs. Dudes with wrenches. How many are licensed and insured? Let me count. Just mine. Yeah, probably all of yours are, right? Well, not your Triumph.
Yeah, no, the S10's not either.
Let's see. 1, 2,
You're
3.
supposed to license and insure them?
I have 6 out of the 10. That's not bad.
I thought you just slapped a tag on it that looked good and drove it.
Move it over. It's fine.
I'm just saying, if anybody watches Roadkill, I don't think that Finnegan
They insure them. I know they insure them because they have a blanket insurance policy.
I don't think they've ever registered a vehicle on that show.
And until like this last year, they'd never gotten pulled over. I got a car, and within an hour, it got pulled over, and it had a tag on it.
You know, any cop that is a car guy that pulls them over, the only autograph they're getting is not going to be on a ticket.
Hopefully not. Does nothing special in the house. Welcome. Mongrel says 3 of the 30 run. Yeah. Plus, that's in Canadian numbers, right? So I don't know if that's like extra. No, wait. No, they use the same numbers. There's an exchange rate somewhere. All right. Who do we missing? We got more people jumping in the chat. We thank you guys for all coming in. And let me see here. Tim Mopar. Can't have Mopar without Tim. And Cousin Mike made it in. All right. We were talking about these 421s. So I don't want to get too far off. But we realized that, Pontiac was making these cars for the race presence. They were trying to, up their cred in the racing world. And to do that, they had to put out a car that was lighter weight and packed more punch. So that's where this 421 slid in there, and all the weight reduction occurred, and you ended up with a half aluminum, half Swiss cheesed car with a massive power plant. So really, we all say the GTO was the first muscle car, and I'm not going to argue that, but kind of the Super Duty took the scene before that.
Right. 1959, they started this project, and I always say that the GTO is the first muscle car, but I guess technically the Super Duty would be.
And then there's even other cars back in the 50s that had a pretty interesting power to weight ratio that you could almost sell that as the first iteration of the muscle car formula. But we'll just all go down in history with that, GTO. GTO is the way to go.
Yes. Seeing as how I'm a GTO nut,
right.
I'm going to go with that.
So the Catalina was kind of just, starting out there. And of course, the 421 Super Duty program was something that was kind of in the weeds. People didn't really understand it. And then this guy named Roger Huntington, who was an automotive journalist for Motor Trend, he gets on board with test driving the cars and writes an article about it for Motor Trend. I mean, back when Motor Trend was a magazine and not, a channel that you surf. And man, that guy, when he put this, he of course didn't get a bone stock Catalina to test. He actually ended up with a 62 Catalina Super Duty that was dressed up in their Sunday best. And that's when Jim Wangers with the advertising department for Pontiac comes out and flies that car down the track. And so the Motor Trend picked that up and went, everybody buy a Catalina. And so by 62, Catalinas were selling like gangbusters.
Yeah, because
necessarily Super Duties, but Catalinas.
Because they don't send their slowest car to Motor Trend.
For sure.
What was the old saying? Win on Monday, sell, or win on Sunday, sell on Monday.
Yep, that's it. And they did. They won a lot. that particular Pontiac showing in NASCAR won a lot of races, and at the drag strip as well. When you think about, I mean, I'm just going to call it magic, that is the 421 Super Duty. That car is just, for the era, for everything that was going on in that time frame, to slide that engine in there, it just made a perfect setup for what was to come later. Because I love my Grand Prix, which is just right after this in that same time frame, and then of course right after that. Hey, thanks Tony, appreciate you joining up as a member. I didn't want to miss that. Look at that, A Cove. Check out Brian Lone's video, the Pontiac that ate Ferraris.
Yep.
Good video. Thanks for posting that. There's Wolfgang. So we were talking muscle car. Mm-hmm.
I will not admit anything about Chrysler. Sorry.
It has the right formula. Let's put it that way. I know which one he's talking about. It's got the formula, but it's not the first. Small body, big engine. That's the first. Thanks,
Wendy.
Dakota.
Hello, Wendy English. Welcome to the chat.
Oh, look at this. 54 Star Chief. See, we got some guys that like to buck the history a little bit, and I have no problem with that debate. I think it's fun because even though we all are accepting of what the first muscle car is, there's a lot of room for interpretation, and even more, there's a lot of room for learning about these cars. Tony's right. Look at that. 49 Rocket 88. Olds Rocket, man. Those things put down the horsepower and torque. Great engines. And then Jay comes in with the flathead, Ford flathead.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw this out there, though, Jay. As soon as the small block Chevy came out, everybody was swapping their flathead out for a small block Chevy.
32 Ford with a 305, a 307, or a 289, or whatever.
283, 327.
Yeah, 283.
Three-team covered wagon.
Power to weight. That's what it is. Power to weight ratio. Now, if you moved your horses to the middle of the wagon, did that help? I'm thinking that probably didn't, front to back, maybe. All right. Back to it. Yep, I'm not going to give that away. For the trivia, guys, just remember that GM underrated the horsepower claims on these engines. So I'm not gonna put it out there yet. It's in the trivia, but just keep that in mind.
Well, GM wasn't the only one, because Ford said that their Thunderbolt with the side oiler 427 only had like 400 horsepower too, and we all know that's BS.
Right. And Jay, you're right. Ford Flathead is a great engine. There's no doubt.
I've never had one. That's one of my bucket list cars, a 32 Ford Coupe with a flathead V8.
How fun would that be? It's basically stripped down car, kind of like a land speed style, right? Just stripped down, clean body, flathead V8, just simple. That would be a fun car to work on and drive. No extra anything, just clean.
Oh yeah, I'd definitely like to.
Oh, and Mohawk with the Hudson sliding in.
I'd love to have something with a real Hemi one day too, but
yep,
that's probably not going to happen. I'd have to sell my house.
I didn't get to say hi to Heaven's Mopars. I didn't want to miss you, buddy. All right. So if you think about the weight reduction on these Super Duties, they didn't just change out bumpers and fenders and hoods. They also went and scavenged on the inside of these things. So these were not fully decked out cars like today's modern cars, or even like, the Catalina that you would buy off the showroom. These things were stripped of radios and air conditioning and anything that caused extra weight. Like they went as far as taking the front end body clips that were steel or metal or steel and switching them out for a lighter weight aluminum, like just above a tin can sized version. So every little piece of weight was shed off of the car. And then of course you adjust the frame. This was before we Swiss cheese it, but just making some modifications to the frame itself would save you 40, 50 pounds. And then of course you start drilling holes in the frame and you save even more. But I mean, it was a Pontiac. So even bare bones, these things were still comfortable. God, I love that car. It's gorgeous.
That thing is so cool.
I mean, that's awesome. That's sinister looking. But then I like that one better. Hunter, you should absolutely Swiss cheese your frame.
Hey, Hunter, you want to know the fastest way to drop weight off the front of your car? I'm just saying, LS swap's like 300 pounds lighter.
And are you talking iron block?
Iron block.
And if you go aluminum block,
ooh, yeah, another 110 pounds less.
But then you got to carry double the amount of wrenches because you got a metric and standards. Ask me how I know.
Just so everybody knows, I do not support LS swapping your Pontiac. I'm just messing with Hunter.
So an obscure offbeat muscle episode. I think we could pull that off as long as we keep the focus who the real first muscle car was. I think we could pull that off. But you guys got to give us a little bit because I've got to actually, do some research. And I'm trying to, it's springish. I'm trying to fix cars right now. And they're not all even mine. But it's too nice to sit in the house.
Well, it was here till today. Now we're trying not to blow away.
That's right. Anybody that's joining us tonight, we thank you for coming in. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Oh my gosh, did we get through half of the show without getting through all these pictures? That's a Swiss cheese car right there.
See, I like the side-by-side headlights better than the stacked. I know you're a fan of the stacked headlights.
I am, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kind of biased, though.
Right. Well, stand by one. I didn't realize how far we got through the show. Yep, 6.2 LS is aluminum. That's right. Aluminum exhaust. The Super Duties had a very special exhaust that was built just for that 421 in those cars. And I apologize, I didn't get through all those details, but there is a ton of information on the Pontiac Super Duty online, multiple articles, all the way back to the 60s through Motor Trend. So it's an amazing car. There's just, yeah. What do you think I guess what, not a Swiss cheese, but just a regular Pontiac Catalina Super Duty would cost today?
Oh. Well,
That's a tough one, Copperhead, but we did a whole show on the straight eight, and we saw a killer straight eight at a car show a few weeks back. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I'm just saying a straight eight would be pretty badass. It'd make for a good video. Sand Mountain says a regular Catalina costs 50 grand. So what do you think? Oh, I got 80 grand, 65,000. Dakota says 100. ASO says 120. I like this.
Depends on the options and like the color, the options.
Right. So basically, if it's a Pontiac Catalina Super Duty, not the Swiss cheese, but yeah, it's some of them have aluminum parts, some of them don't, some of them have a little this, some of them a little that, but on average, those things are selling for around $170,000. Copperhead, everybody likes the straight eight. You're getting that in the chat right now. Fix up the straight eight. It would be great content. And he has a great channel, so you guys can check him out too. But now we're going to start our trivia sponsored by Super Clean. You guys have already started trivia with the last question, but we're going to actually have questions and answers this time. How many Pontiac Catalina Super Duties were produced for the 1962 model year? And this is not the Swiss cheese. This is just the regular Pontiac Catalina Super Duties. Colleen's in quick with a B.
I know the answer to this because I've been researching this. So,
Danny Boyd says A. Raj says A. J-Man 642, welcome. He says A. We got B and BB and C and B and B. Does nothing special with a C. ASO with a B.
I'm just going to say Hunter better get this right.
Didn't he already answer?
Yeah, he did.
I didn't see it.
He said B.
Oh, there he is. Mongrel says B. A. Cove says A. Irish says C. Answer is B, 162. And remember, there's only 14 Swiss cheese cars. And less than that still out there in the world. So out of that 162, 14 of them were weight reduced. Hey, my Grand Prix weight reduced.
Mother Nature did it for you.
Yeah, 40 years of rot. She couldn't handle a 421. It'd fall right out. Yep, Brad Cam. These were built for racing, NASCAR and drag race. Speaking of, what was the reported horsepower rating of the 1962 421 cubic inch Super Duty engine? Is it 290 horse, 309 horse, 405 horse, or 450 horsepower? Oh, man, they are quick. Look at that. These guys are pounding out the C's. That's my report card.
If anybody paid attention to one of the pictures, I believe it said it on the fender of one of them.
It for sure did. Was it this one? Nope. Let's go back. Was it that?
No, maybe not. Maybe I just saw the number.
Well, it was on one of the cars that's not probably in this slide. But it seems unanimous. Dakota's right. It actually felt more than what the reported horsepower rating was, because 405, C was the correct answer. That was the reported with 425 foot-pounds of torque. But reality was these engines were somewhere between 450 and 460 horse with 505 foot-pounds of torque. Torque monster. And by the way, you see that beautiful little radiator hold down on the top of that radiator. If anybody's got one of those, I need one. My license plate's falling apart, and that's what's holding my radiator in.
I could probably fab you something up, buddy.
Oh, we need that. All right, Copperhead Customs. That's a Canadian question. Mongrels, do you got an answer for me? The Catalina, same as the, however you say that, Paracine?
It's pronounced really weird, I think.
Yeah, I don't speak offbeat Pontiac.
I heard it on a video. I was like, wow, I've been saying that wrong my whole life.
I mean, I could say Beaumont. Oh, it's the same as the Bonneville. There you go. And did I see that right? Dudes with Wrenches has a 421. So what you doing with it, dudes? Should we build ourselves a Super Duty Grand Prix?
It's already got a Swiss cheese frame.
Yep, I've already got holes. Weight reduced. But it's got a shattered glass rear end that first burnout's going to just... yeah, I don't think it's for sale, Hunter. I don't think he's going to... No. Anyway, Motor Trend tested that 62 Super Duty. We talked about it, where Jim Wangers was at the wheel. They put down a quarter-mile time of what? Was it 16.1 seconds, 15.6 seconds, 14.4 seconds, or 13.9 seconds? And they were underselling the car. All right, we're all over the place again. We got C's and B's and D's and more C's. CC Ryder.
It is all over the place, isn't it?
It really is. Where's Raj Kim? Oh, he's saying C. How's he been answering? Has he been doing good? He got laugh emojis. That's pretty good. He was telling me how to say that word for the Canadian Bonneville, but yeah. I'm not going to try. I'll wait, and maybe Mongrels will be on Jay's live, and he can pronounce it for me. I can say Super Duty. Well, let's just figure it out. What's the answer? 13.9 seconds. 107 miles an hour. And that's actually a copy of the magazine it was in.
Let's not forget, this is on a bias ply.
Non-prep track.
Probably
not prepped at all. And it was not a race driver. It was Jim Wangers. Advertising for Pontiac. This was just dude getting in and hitting the pedal. All right, Mongrel's going to meet us over on Jay's live here in a few minutes, and he's going to teach us how to say the name of that Pontiac. Okay, last question. In 1961, the Pontiac Catalina Super Duty dominated racing from track to strip. But how many NASCAR wins did the Super Duty have for 1961? Was it A, 18, B, 30, C, 42, or D, 50? This is NASCAR wins for 1961.
I know.
Oh, man, these guys are quick. He's got A, B. I don't see all your answers, guy. Oh, there we go. C, B. Fireball Roberts. A double B. Now we're just throwing out names, Danny Boyd. I'm assuming these are all the race car guys. Haha, Frank McCart is here. It's always fun to see him in the chat. Brad, you're not having good luck, man.
No.
But did you get a guess? Did you know the answer?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, it's B.
You say it's B?
Yeah.
Yep, that's right, guys. It is 30. So answer is B. They won 30 out of the 52 NASCAR races and dominated on the NHRA drag racing circuit. And that's why the Catalina sold so well. Win on Sunday, buy it on Monday, or sell it on Monday if you're the dealer. Awesome, awesome history. Let me. So, guys, I just want to point out that Super Clean sponsors our trivia every week, and we appreciate them doing that. And you know what, Rajcam? I'm going to just throw you a bone, buddy. And if you send me an email at buffsgarage@gmail.com, we will send you out a Super Clean prize pack because we appreciate you every week. All right. Oh, now they're talking race drivers. Well, Danny Boyd, how many races do they do now? I don't follow NASCAR.
I don't think very many people do now.
Like, I used to work as a medic at the NASCAR track here in Kansas, and there was a lot of people there, hundreds of thousands of people there. But yeah, I don't know how many people follow it now.
I quit following it when all the cars had to be the same.
Yep.
That's like participation trophy type shit right there. So
equal. But as everybody's saying in the chat, make sure you like this show. Feel free to share it out. We appreciate that as well. Don't forget to subscribe to myself and Ray, because Ray does the show every other week, and you don't want to miss it. Hit the notification bell, because that way you'll get notified when the new videos are up, when the live's about to go live. Like mine lets me know 30 minutes out, and it lets me know right before it goes live. So make sure you hit that notification bell. It's kind of annoying if you got somebody that posts every day, like 5 or 6 posts a day, but we don't do that. So hit the notification bell. It'll let you know, and you won't miss a thing.
And feel free to go back and watch some of our old content.
Yes, we both have content up. Not just the cars we're working on now. We got stuff from a year ago, and everything from my projects around the yard on cars to the 63 build for No Name Nationals, and of course the new stuff I've got going on now. And there's more coming. Got a new video dropping tomorrow that will be for members only. So if you're not a member, feel free to sign up for the Tappy Tap Club. I appreciate it. It helps me work on more cars.
Thanks for everybody for coming, hanging out with us tonight.
Dakota noticed my plates. Those are legit. Those are the real deal, man. All right, guys. Now remember, Irish Outlaw Garage. He's coming up in just a few minutes. So you should get a redirect coming out of our chat. Just jog on over there and he'll be starting up. But thank you guys for watching. We will see you next week.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.